Mike Vannelli, welcome back to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast.
Glad to be here again.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. I was looking and reflecting on our last conversation. We were talking about people management, leadership issues back, I think, about 6 months ago or so in the fall. It's great to have you back. And today we're going to be focusing on redirecting business through online channels and how to optimize and automate with our people to drive organizational success. And you come at this topic from a bit of a unique background in that you're the head video producer and you work in that creative producing and video space. That's not the typical profile of the people I interview on the podcast, but you bring that kind of industry, that perspective to the conversation of people management and organizational leadership. So I think that'll be really helpful for our listeners today. As we get started, I just wanted to share Mike's bio with everybody. Mike Vannelli is the head video producer with NV Creative. In this role, Mike leads a production team to film commercials for online and TV ads. Mike has produced over 2,000 video ads to date. Mike is no stranger to film and the TV industry, having spent 10 years in the business where he has produced TV shows and music videos for big name artists. Mike specializes in making sure each commercial NV Creative produces is unique and delivers the message the brand, product, or business is looking to convey to their target audience. Mike helps clients to get more sales by getting more people to watch their videos. NV Creative offers all kinds of services from explainer videos that focus on the product, brand, or company to national TV campaigns that get a brand more known. NV also offers an ad campaign service to get your brand, product, or business seen. To contact Mike, just connect with him at mikevannelli@thinknv.com or go to www.thinknv.com. Again, Mike, it's a pleasure to have you. I'm excited for this conversation. Before we dive on in, anything else you would like to share with listeners by way of background or personal context?
No, you pretty much hit it all. We are actually we put a pause because of the world situation. We put a pause on our ad campaign service, like our full-fledged one as of now, unfortunately. So we're probably going to bring that back soon. So if people want to get in touch to start talking about that, that's fine. But we've just been focusing mainly on just producing videos right now. That's kind of the bandwidth we have as of now.
Sure. Yeah.
But once we get back to, full-time, full capacity, then we'll be able to, offer the full range again. So
very good. Very good. So I think today our focus is going to be on optimization and automation. Let's start by talking about redirecting business through online channels. Tell us a little bit about what you do at your company, and then we can get into more about how that leads into optimization and automation.
Sure. Yeah. So we make videos and ads and video content for products, businesses, services, whether that's B2C, which is business to consumer, or B2B, which is business to business. So pretty much whether you're a Fortune 500 company or you're a startup or you're just a one-man band, that's just starting out, say, in something like drop shipping, and you have one product, we help a wide range of people get video content, like I said, for their brand or their product or their service. And yeah, nowadays, even with things like Instagram, we're seeing a change go really towards video content. As we know, YouTube's still the second biggest search engine out there, and they get probably like 1/3 of the internet traffic per day. And so, as we know, video content is kind of king there. But with the other platforms, we've seen Facebook move towards really pushing video ads. And nowadays, like I said, Instagram is really even moving towards video platform. More people post videos there than photos nowadays. And, TikTok is the new kid on the block, but, that's video only. And so really, when businesses really want to get their service or product known, video is kind of the best medium to go with because it's visual. Unfortunately nowadays people don't like to read. So even with, say, blog posts, if we've done blog videos for people. So for instance, they'll have a blog post, but we'll also produce a video to go with their blog post. And they'll say, if you want to save some time reading, watch our video instead. And those actually convert really well because people would rather just listen or watch than actually read. So we cover the wide range, but even recently in the past couple years, since a lot of people have been kind of shifting more towards online rather than even in retail or face-to-face, really getting their product or service seen online has really, boosted the video content out there, especially for advertising. And so that's kind of what we do and kind of the background about, I guess, why the video content has become even more important on, online channels, getting it seen to drive traffic to whatever you have.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I have to admit, this is not my area of expertise.
That's why I'm here.
Right. I'm a dinosaur, so I do lots of writing, and I would like to think that my writing is compelling and that people want to read what I write.
Hey, we can't make our videos without our script writers here. So, it starts with them.
No, but it's the reality though. It absolutely is the reality. And trying to make things more engaging with engaging visuals, whether that's pictures or, in this case, videos, is certainly super important and necessary as we're trying to attract more people to our brand and grow our business. So I think that's super helpful. And I'm just curious because you brought it up, and everyone listening, I'm sure, is very familiar with all these different social media channels that you just mentioned. But TikTok is the new kid on the block, and it's been around for a while now, but it's really blown up, and I think it's getting more attention in the digital marketing space for businesses now than it did maybe when it was kind of new on the scene. Maybe tell us a little bit more about that and how that's being leveraged and what you can do to help organizations that way.
Sure. So I would say when we first started really digging into making commercials for businesses, we really focused on making them for YouTube pre-roll ads or posting on Facebook. And then once Instagram kind of became more visual in regards to video, then we started trying to optimize them a little more for, stopping scrolling when people are scrolling on Instagram, that they would stop and watch it. And then it evolved into stories, where, it had to be a really short thing for Instagram stories. And now that, and pretty much with all those avenues, we were able to do a normal commercial, normal explainer video, normal cinematic ad, and post it on there on either one of those, and it would work great. It would get conversions, and and the clients would get sales or signups or downloads, whatever they needed. But then when we started diving into TikTok, we tried using the same content. We tried using, our professionally produced content, and it was kind of a little bit of a wake-up call in regards to that platform, and it's really unique because none of those really worked. And we were a little bit confused by that because that's all, that's what we know how to do. And when somebody says, oh, just film on your phone, don't use any lighting, don't use any microphones, we're not sure how to take that because that's, we have all the equipment, we produce professional stuff. So kind of doing something just on our phone, no lighting, no nothing is a little bit foreign to us. So once we saw that wasn't working, then when we started kind of making it, I guess a little less produced, then that's when our clients started seeing a little more conversion. that's when they started seeing more sales, more clicks, more this and that. Again, it's kind of a weird thing, but yeah, like the viewers on TikTok, they don't really want to see overproduced stuff. They just want to see something that'll grab their eye right away before they swipe past, and then they want to see somebody. I guess they want to see somebody like them using the product, talking about the product and showing the product off. And it's taken a little bit of getting used to, but same thing with our personal TikTok. We started kind of posting our work samples, which is how we get a lot of our clients. They see our work samples, they say, hey, we want to hire these guys to do the similar thing. But really what's been working just to drive traffic to our website is just to post like behind the scenes of the studio, of us like filming and doing all that sort of stuff. Again, just from our production assistant taking video on their phone. And yeah, that's been working really well. So yeah, TikTok is definitely different in regards to like what kind of video that people actually watch on there and what drives traffic.
Yeah, it's interesting. You want a professionally produced video that doesn't look overly produced, right? I imagine that's a difficult balance to strike. It is a fun app. It's fun. It's easy to get sucked in and to waste time on. So it's a fun app. It's definitely something to look into for anyone listening who maybe that's not a channel you've explored yet. Okay, so that's helpful. Can you tell us now a little bit more? Let's talk about the automation kind of component to all of this. How do you set that up in your business and to help organizations optimize and automate in their online channels?
Sure. So I am a big advocate of automation. It's sad to say that when our social media manager quit, not because of anything the company was doing, he just he wanted to explore other avenues, decided it wasn't for him. Truth be told, he's also a filmmaker like a lot of employees here, and he just kind of wanted to go do filmmaking stuff rather than being a social media manager for a production company. But once he left, there was kind of a gap in us posting on social media and posting everywhere and doing all the things that he would do. So I really did a deep dive into seeing how we could possibly automate his job. And I've been doing automation for, say, like we use Zapier. For the most part, we use If This Then That a little bit, but it's mostly Zapier. People call it different things. But we mostly use that for automating, say, emails out to the company. So for instance, we do like weekly emails as well as monthly emails, just pretty much a reminder, for instance, with our actors who they kind of set their own schedule because they are working actors here in LA. We have an automated email send out every Saturday and Sunday telling us to, let us know their schedule for the week so we know whether or not we need to cast them or if they're not available. But we really started diving deep onto how to automate things. And so we're actually going to be coming out with a video on how to do this exactly, all the steps on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/nvcreative. But so pretty much it kind of takes a few different steps. It takes Zapier, a kind of newer service, kind of like Buffer. It's called Social Boo. It's a scheduling app, as well as a Google Drive account, which is free for most people. So pretty much what we have it set up is, this can work either for your business, whether you're just wanting to, post things on social media, get more traffic that way, just organically, or whether you have, say, a lot of content about your product that you want to post as well. So pretty much what we do is we kind of curated all of our photos and videos from, all of our behind the scenes, from the past year, because we haven't been posting a lot. We put all of those in a Google Drive folder. And what we did is we have 3 folders. We have a post folder, which is where Social Boost says, "Hey, I'm going to post this today," and grabs that file. We have a queue folder, which that's where all the videos and photos are. Then we have a to delete folder, because unfortunately Zapier can't delete things for you, which is probably a good thing. But then it moves it into there when it's already posted. And pretty much what Zapier does is we have an automation running. So every day it moves either a video or photo from our queue folder into our post folder. And then Social Boost sees that and says, "Okay, I see a new file in there. I'm going to post that today." And then the next day, we have an automation saying, "Okay, take that file out of the post folder and move it to the to delete, because it's done, and then just repeat the process." And then in Zapier, we do that to Instagram only, because Instagram can do photos and videos. And then we have another automation in Zapier that pretty much says, whenever you see a video, post it to our LinkedIn, post it to our Facebook, post it to our Twitter, post it to our wherever else, all the places. And yeah, so pretty much, and we just did a simple caption. We did like behind the scenes at NV Creative, hashtag behind the scenes, hashtag whatever. So all the captions are exactly the same, but we pretty much, after we set up the automation, all we had to do was really just, get all of our photos and videos together, drop them in the Google Drive folder, and we haven't needed to touch it for months, and it just does it by itself every single day, without us needing to. And yeah, we figured out a way to do that, to automate our TikTok as well, but it's still a little bit buggy, and we're still working on it. So it does it 90% of the time, but you need a dedicated computer to do that, because it has to do with automating a computer, and we have a little Mac Mini that does that, but that's for future. So
well, yeah, so that's super interesting. So regardless of how you want to use these online channels, these social media channels, whether it's behind the scenes videos like you're talking about, whether it's product or service related videos, or whether it's employee experience, trying to employee branding and attracting good talent to the organization. I think there's lots of different ways that organizations are using these channels, and it's taking for a moment, given the focus of this podcast, taking for a moment that employee experience piece, employee branding, and we want the broader world to recognize that we're a great place to work, and kind of organically, we want it to feel organic, at least, that we have all this social sharing around what an amazing place we are, to be a place to work. What you're describing in terms of automation in optimizing those channels could be a real benefit to organizations that are struggling to attract and retain top talent, because it's like anything else. You're trying to tell your story, whether it's a product story or an employee experience story. You're trying to tell your story and convince either the customer that they want to buy your stuff, or the job applicant that they want to apply for positions with you. And so this could be a really great tool, a great benefit to anyone listening today, I think, and as you try to consider maximizing your approach for your organization.
Yeah, because we've actually, because on our NV Instagram, and our other channels, we mainly just post our behind the scenes. We've gotten a decent amount of DMs where people see all of our behind the scenes, and they DM us asking if we're hiring, because
Yeah.
they're they're seeing all the stuff that goes on behind the video, and they they're probably saying, oh man, that looks like a pretty cool place to work. But yeah, so say with things like company get-togethers, or behind the scenes at an actual company, sometimes they have photographers, sometimes they have people on their phones taking pictures of company events, things like that. And a lot of the times what companies do is they'll post those photos that day, or something like that. And say if they have 10 photos, they'll post them all in their story, they'll post them all as a carousel. But say if you have 10, 20 photos from a certain event, and you have other photos from behind the scenes at your office or whatever, why not spread those out over a month? Gather all those photos together, drop them in Google Drive, and then they'll just be posted day after day, rather than just a one time. So now you have 30 chances for somebody to see the photos, rather than just one chance on one day. Because a lot of people, when they post them in the moment or right afterwards, and then they forget about them. But yeah, it's always better to just do the consistent thing, rather than just doing one-off and then trying to remember to post it when everybody has 1,000 other things going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why companies hire social media specialists like you had. That's why you're trying to find a way to automate this while you don't have that person anymore, right? And the consistency piece really is the most important. The other element that comes back to what we were talking about earlier is, for it to feel authentic, like, for example, the employee experience piece. If we're trying to create content that helps people feel like this is a place they want to go work, if it's like an overly produced kind of spot, it doesn't feel genuine and authentic. It feels like quote unquote propaganda. And
Right.
so it doesn't seem truthful to the real experience. And that's what people want when they're seeing that. Increasingly, I think that's what people want, especially younger workers. And so finding that balance between making it professional but not overproducing it, to drive that authenticity, I think it's going to be really important. Let's maybe in our last few minutes, let's talk a little bit about the implications of this automation for your staffing.
Sure.
Because that's what a lot of people are thinking about, and it's frankly what a lot of people are worried about. With technologies and the future of work, and AI and disruptive technologies that are going to take away their jobs.
Yeah.
But so tell us, in your case, you had someone in the role, they left, you had to figure out how you're going to do it. What's your perspective on the use of these automation tools in terms of your overall team and your staffing within your organization?
Sure. So, like I said, and like you said, our social media manager left. We weren't at a place where we, could retrain a new one. And so that's kind of why, that's why we looked into automation rather than just hiring a new one off the bat. I mean, obviously, automation does not replace, except for, robots and car factories. But even then, the technician has to look over the robot. And that's kind of how I think of automation, where even if you have, say, this whole automated process for videos and photos to go up on social media, and doing the social media marketing, or not marketing, but posting rather, it's still good to have somebody looking over that. For instance, even with the automation, it works 99% of the time, but when it breaks, I rarely notice until it hasn't been posting for 5 days, and I'm like, oh, how long hasn't this been posting? So obviously, it would be nice to have somebody to monitor that. It would also be nice to have somebody, to actually curate what is going up, rather than me having to do it, or somebody else having to do it, or taking better behind the scenes than just either if I remember to whip out my phone, or if our production assistant remembers or sees something cool. So, automation can only do so much. For instance, even if this can automate posting things, you still need stuff to post. So,
Exactly.
so.
And that's what came to mind, for me as you were describing all of this. You still need the creative people
Mm-hmm.
to produce the content, and you still need people to monitor the automation and to quality control and checking and just making sure everything's working correctly. So it's my perspective. I know not everyone agrees with this, and there are people that are definitely nervous about the rise of the machines and how it's going to displace all the workers. But I look at it and I'm like, if you can automate this, like just the technical process of social media posting and free up time for your people to do other more creative, innovative things, that seems like that's a win-win, because then your people aren't having to like spend their time doing the brainless stuff that you can just
Mm-hmm.
automate and you can have a computer do it. They can spend their time doing more creative things and curating the content and all those sorts of things. So that seems like a win-win to me. I don't think it's a matter of, we're going to have all this technology displacing all these workers. It's not like that will happen. There will be technologies that take the place of certain tasks and behaviors in the workplace. But I believe that that's going to actually end up freeing up people, so they can spend more time doing the stuff that they're interested in doing, and that's going to actually drive more value for the organization. So I think that's the connection piece that I just wanted to make for listeners today, as we were talking about everything, because I think that's something we can't forget about.
Yeah.
Automation will benefit our people.
Yeah, plus it's also great for people that are social media marketers, because if they learn how to automate a lot of stuff, they can say, I guarantee I am 150 more percent, or 150% more productive than
Sure.
the
Yeah.
last guy you interviewed, because I know how to do all this stuff. So I can focus on the content and curating,
Yeah.
instead of spending hours just posting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike, it has been a real pleasure talking with you today. I'm mindful of your time. I need to let you go. But before we close, I wanted to give you a chance to share with listeners how they can get connected with you, find out more about your company, and then give us the last word on the topic for today.
Sure. So again, if you want to see the work that we've done, all the commercials that we've made for past clients, go to thinkenvy.com. That's THINKENVY.com. And if you want to check out the video that we're going to be doing on automation sometime soon, you can check it out on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/envycreative. And yeah, if you have a product, brand, business, or service, then we can definitely help you out and make some video content for that. And yeah, just I guess remember that automation's great, but I guess as like a metaphor for what we do, we can have the camera, lighting, sound, everything else, but without actors and the people behind the camera, they can't do anything. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Mike. It has been a real pleasure. I appreciate you coming back on the podcast. I encourage listeners to reach out, get connected with Mike, find out more about what he and his company can do for you. And as always, I hope everyone can stay healthy and safe, that you can find meaning and purpose at work each and every day. And I hope you all have a great week.